The basis of competition in semiconductor manufacturing equipment is quietly starting to shift. It's no longer just about how well the tool itself performs. It's about how quickly you can get a delivered tool up and running stably at the customer's fab. Tokyo Electron's new pledge to cut tool startup time in half is, the way I see it, a declaration that a world once ruled by craftsmanship is about to be rebuilt on data. Today, let's dig deep into this story.
Hello, everyone. I'm Ty, with 31 years in the semiconductor industry. Today, I'm covering Tokyo Electron's announced plan to cut equipment startup time in half. By the end of this video, you'll understand why bringing up a semiconductor tool takes so long and exactly what AI is about to change on the factory floor. In the second half, I'll also share a story from my own career about tool-to-tool variation, something I experienced firsthand. Let's get started.
As always, let's begin with a familiar analogy. Imagine a popular ramen chain that has decided to open new restaurants all across the country, one after another. Each new location gets exactly the same kitchen equipment as the flagship store, and the secret recipe is handed over as well. So every new shop should be able to serve the flagship's exact flavor right away, correct? Well, as it turns out, things are not nearly that simple.
Here's what actually happens. Every time a new shop opens, a master chef from the flagship store travels to the site and spends weeks there before opening day, fine-tuning everything on the spot. They simmer the soup batch after batch, tasting it each time, gradually adjusting the heat, the prep steps, the timing. Without this final tuning, even identical equipment and an identical recipe simply will not reproduce the flagship's flavor.
So why doesn't the flavor come out the same? Even pots of the same model from the same maker each have their own subtle quirks. The water quality differs from region to region, and so do the kitchen's burner power and airflow. All these small differences stack up and end up changing the final taste. And knowing exactly what to fix and how, that used to depend entirely on the chef's experience and intuition. The problem is that the pace of expansion keeps accelerating. The number of chefs who can do this tuning is limited, yet new store plans keep pouring in. If an opening slips by a single week, the revenue from that week simply evaporates. The stores end up fighting over the same few master chefs, and at this rate, the entire expansion plan hits a ceiling set by the number of chefs available. So the chain built a new system. It accumulated the tuning records from every store it had ever opened as data, so that when you measure a new location's water quality and burner power, the system suggests, here's what you should adjust next. Now, junior staff can handle most of the tuning, while the master chefs focus only on the final touches. From here, let me explain how this simplified story is actually playing out in a real industry today. The main player is Tokyo Electron, one of the world's leading Japanese makers of semiconductor manufacturing equipment. In an interview with Nikkei, President Toshiki Kawai indicated that the company wants to cut the startup time, the period from delivering a tool to a customer's fab until it's actually running in production, in half, starting with new models and rolling out from there. So what exactly is tool startup? A semiconductor tool is not something you simply wheel into the fab, plug in, and switch on. It goes through installation, plumbing and utility hookups, precision calibration, process condition setup, and performance verification. Then, running test wafers through it, engineers dial it in to match the customer's exact requirements, and only then is it ready for volume production. Traditionally, this final tuning was the domain of highly experienced engineers, making one precise adjustment after another. It was truly a world of craftsmanship. The method proposed for halving that time is process informatics, putting AI and data to work. Using data from sensors mounted on the tools, along with records of past tuning work, the company aims to standardize how tool conditions are diagnosed and how adjustments are made. On top of that, it plans to combine robotics with AR and VR-based maintenance support. The background here is the worldwide rush to build new semiconductor fabs. Construction projects are launching in region after region, yet the number of engineers who can handle tool startup is limited. And for a chip maker,
Every single day of delay in bringing a massive fab online means losing the output and revenue that fab was supposed to generate. How fast you can bring a tool up is becoming a genuine competitive factor in choosing which equipment maker to buy from. Now, let's dig deeper from a professional's point of view. Most people read this news as AI will automate tool startup. But what I consider the real challenge is something else: tool-to-tool variation, what we call machine differences. That is also the true reason startup takes so long. Once you understand this variation, you can see clearly where the boundary lies between what AI can do and what it cannot. Here's the thing: even if you load the exact same recipe, the same processing conditions, onto two tools of the same model, you won't necessarily get identical results. Tiny differences in components, the condition of the plumbing, temperature distribution inside the chamber, the tool's processing history, its state after cleaning, variation in materials. Just like the ramen pots from earlier, a large number of physical factors each nudge the outcome a little bit. I experienced how frightening this variation can be about 20 years ago. At one fab, we had multiple tools running the same recipe in process step A and multiple tools in the following step, B. Any combination should have produced the same result. Yet for some reason, yield was at its best only when wafers went through tool 1 in step A and then tool 2 in step B. Tool 1 wasn't superior on its own, and neither was tool 2. Only that specific combination worked beautifully. Perhaps the slight biases carried by each tool happened to cancel each other out. But at the time, we never managed to pin down the root cause, no matter how hard we tried. In the end, we fine-tuned the conditions on each tool until every combination was brought close enough to production quality. Tiny machine differences stacking up across consecutive process steps can swing your yield. That is just how sensitive semiconductor manufacturing really is. Today, AI might find such tool-to-tool compatibilities much faster by analyzing wafer routing histories and inspection results across the entire line. But be careful. Discovering a good pairing is not the same as explaining it. If the root cause hides somewhere that never made it into the data, trace contamination, a quirk in a measurement instrument, then AI cannot see it either. And if you lock production onto a lucky pairing, maintenance or a breakdown will still halt your line, and nobody can say how long that compatibility will even last. So where does AI's real value lie? What troubles people on the factory floor most is reaching the point where they no longer know what to try next. Even veterans freeze up. That's where AI steps in, proposing the next conditions to test based on similar past cases and ranking the candidates by priority. Even if it can't produce the right answer on the first try, as long as it keeps offering a next move, the search never stalls. President Kawai himself has acknowledged that engineers will still be needed, but that the traditional way of working simply won't supply enough of them. Let's consider what this means for Japan. Manufacturing equipment is one of Japan's strongest fields, but the craftsmanship of tool startup has always been tacit knowledge locked inside each company. If that know-how can be organized into data, it could strengthen revenue beyond the initial sale, through startup support and maintenance services after the tool is delivered. And I expect this same movement to spread to Japan's other equipment makers as well. Competition in equipment is expanding beyond a contest of performance into a contest of how quickly tools reach stable operation. The tuning wisdom that once lived only inside veteran engineers' heads is being spread across the floor through data and AI. Having startup time is not about replacing the experts. It's about building a system that keeps the experts' trial and error from ever stalling. And I believe this perspective applies equally to every manufacturing industry struggling with labor shortages. Let me summarize. Tokyo Electron aims to cut tool startup time in half, starting with new models. The means? AI and data-driven condition diagnosis and standardized tuning. But tools have individual differences, and AI will not solve everything. AI's true value lies in continuously showing the floor its next move and shrinking the time everyone spends standing still. That's all for today. I'll keep bringing you semiconductor news and analysis,
So if you found this useful, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. This has been Ty on Semiconductor News Decoded.